Hey, I wanted to share a story I remembered with y'all. I have a friend named Camden, and she has a sister named Maria. Well, Camden and Maria lived in the same town that we used to. My husband, kids, and I owned a house, and it had an extra lot beside it that was ours, and it was real shaded with trees and everything. Anyway, we had our own little personal pet cemetery for when we lost a hamster or, a pet of any kind. So we would take them out there and bury them. Well, one day Camden called me because she lived in an apartment in town, and her sister lived in an adjacent apartment with her children. And Camden said, "Hey, my sister's dog has been hit by a car, and he's deceased, and we were wondering, could we please bury him in the lot beside your house, because we don't have anywhere to bury him and the kids need to have that closure." And I said, sure, bring him on over, no worries, I'll even provide a shovel. So they came over, and I watched from in the house, and they had this little ceremonial funeral for the little dog, and there were some tears, and they all bowed their heads and said a prayer, and then they buried this little dog. Well, about a week later, I haven't thought much more about it, Camden gives me a call, and she says, "You're not going to believe this." And I said, "Not going to believe what? What's going on?" "Well, Maria's dog came back." I said, "Maria's dog that y'all buried under the tree beside my house?" And she said, "Apparently not." She said Maria went outside of her apartment, and she happened to catch a glimpse of something, and she just called out the dog's name, "Whiskers." Here comes Whiskers running. It was Whiskers. He was skinny, but he was otherwise healthy. So they took him to the vet to get a checkup for this little dog, and they told the vet the story that, we found this dog that looked so much like him, and it had the same collar on, and he didn't have any tags. Well, Whiskers' tags had been lost long ago, and so we took this dog to a friend's place and buried it thinking it was Whiskers. Well, now Whiskers is back. Isn't that wonderful? Well, the person at the vet's office said, "Oh, this dog looks so much like my mother's dog. I have a feeling the dog that you buried is my mother's dog." "Oh, we are so sorry, but we had a funeral and it was all wonderful, and she's going to call you and ask you if she can dig that dog up." And I said, "What?" And so I said, "Well, okay, I'll deal with that when it happens." And I'm thinking, no, there's no way somebody's going to call and ask that. Sure enough, phone rings, and this sweet young lady says, "Hey, my mom is elderly, and her dog was hit by a car, and it just so happens to be the one that your friend thought was her dog." And I said, "I am so sorry." I said, "They had the sweetest little funeral and everything for the dog, and he's buried out under the tree next to my house." And she said, "Well, for my mom's sake, we would like to come dig him up." Okay, well, come on. So they came over with a box and a blanket and a trash bag and a shovel. They brought their own shovel, and they dug this dog up and took it away. And I never heard from them after that, but apparently it was the right dog. Just thought, strange things happen a lot in my life, a lot. So when the textbook don't fit the real world is pretty accurate for most things for me. But I thought that was kind of funny in a morbid kind of graveyard sense of humor way. But I'm going to share it anyway. So y'all have a good day.